Nerd Ordinário Live. Streaming Tales of Arise e Fei Live Final, PS5.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renin Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renins? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renins once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out. Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renin?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Have you guys lived up here in Dag Fazel with Hevrecht 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrecht 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrecht 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions. Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries.
They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and—
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while. Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans and Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Heverick 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot. Everything...
Right.
Well, if the names are anything to go by...
But if Heverick 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie...
No, I don't think so.
Really? Well then...
Make one, huh?
It's finished. Hopefully the others like it.
Oh, it's you two.
He who?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our...
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renan?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our... As for the Renans...
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menency. In my case, I think that's partly because So...
You kept a pretty level...
You mean about the Renans? But... At the same time...
I know you're already aware of this. And if people then find out that they're all...
Even just among the Danans. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that...
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could...
It's no small task. We can't...
Right. Everybody in a worst-case scenario...
And we all have to figure out how to meet...
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own... It won't be achieved through... But I think it's a good first step. And now, I think I see a way to move forward.
You both seem awful.
Only.
How are you holding up, Rinwell?
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever... But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dan... I know it's not... Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. But even so, I was thinking maybe, I don't know...
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting.
Now that you mention it,
Maybe. But regardless...
We won't. We'll...
I still can't...
You're not the only one still...
Really? You've never...
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum?
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to...
Man, I think you might be a better guy.
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistake. That was no way to live. But all this talk about other races and the world ending...
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me. But that's when I finally got it.
In other words, if you let...
The thing that's all I want to do is protect...
Not everyone is...
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he... Law, you know you're strong enough to fight. Forget all the big stuff going on.
Yeah. It's like a fight to protect the...
I apologize.
You mean hearing the origins of...
Indeed. It's shocking.
Even I'm still...
Let's not delude ourselves. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like...
That's just part of...
Well, to say the least.
When you say the other Renans...
Correct. Even if we putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in.
So, I guess you're only...
And at the same time, Danan's... There is, after... And the victims of...
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia...
Menancia's fate was a stroke. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead.
Indeed. I have fully On that note...
Oh?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, as the one and only...
And I...
Yes. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time. Is it...
No, relax.
You're too kind.
That's some high praise.
Then I'll ask once again. This time just as...
You don't even need to ask.
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to
What about you, Shion? How do you...
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. Right now, it's...
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, I thought I'd die alone. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you. It's been going on for 300 years. It was Naori's hope, how it fell on us, of all people.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just... She considered me... I don't think she wanted the world to be safe. Maybe this is...
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier. About all that stuff, like everyone... She said that the first step down that path was for... That means forgiving other people. Even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes...
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past. If we have any hope of moving on and building a...
You know, you're right. People can hurt...
It's not going to be easy getting... But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all... I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the... I think that's the very least I can do to repay...
Yeah. I want a future that...
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here...
Yes, I know.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renaissance stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The Great Astral Spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the Great Astral Spirit within her body. and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the great spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns could be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. Is the Renis Alma really our own?
Shion's fire. Couldn't we make...
I'm not...
Back in Calaglia.
Except after it absorbed... Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not...
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it.
You're probably...
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember saying anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? Although that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hefric 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
The Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Xion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xian.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Xian,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete.
Is that you, Hevrek 35?
I can see anywhere within the...
Sounds like someone's a...
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break.
I have unlocked all functions.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to act...
Using the warp drive, you should be able to...
Wait.
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena.
So, once we reach the shell...
We gotta go all the way...
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we...
The extinction of my people is, as such, it would be illogical to risk this.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit?
Well?
Hold up. Did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the phone lines.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
Hollowed.
What do you...
Come to think of it.
This is essential.
No, because
Taking an inch
Looks like we're...
You think I was So the idea...
I'm guessing it...
I already had the problem isn't just...
In other words...
Back when Shion's...
If that's the...
We might just... It won't be... Question.
What of the world?
Yeah, I'm...
A lot will have to change.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to...
That's true.
Renan's...
If only we... Not
It will take some...
There will no...
That's where we met?
Yeah.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Hey!
Is this a...
What?
Rinwell.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, makes them...
You don't think...
Can't say...
Connect the...
Okay.
Huh.
It would mean...
Nah.
Get him. Oh! Ow, ow!
You know, guys...
You can...
Isn't it...
Certain...
I only...
There's all... What do you mean?
Zoogle...
You're right.
First...
I hope we...
It's a nice thought.
Aside from this...
If we had...
Well...
Yes.
Excuse me!
Hey!
Really now?
What?
I see. Agreed.
Very nice.
Dohalim? The line of researchers is getting longer.
Perhaps I should have put more thought into this before accepting.
Right!
Sax Leo Temple.
Hey, Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I meant to...
Huh?
Either that, may the
You know, I...
Look!
Hey, I'm... Thunderblade! A little bird...
From the look, it wouldn't be...
Hey,
That's a little...
Sorry.
But then...
I can imagine.
Because of
Alphen's still... And after...
Besides...
That's true.
But that...
Don't worry. And you're right.
I'll say. And if it...
You might...
Uh-oh.
Well...
Even after...
Renan and...
That might be the...
Once,
If it's not...
You're right.
These things... What the... A bug?
Something to...
This in fact...
Sounds... I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan.
Insects as a...
Dohalim.
Hey! I never thought...
Admittedly...
Is it...
Oh, you...
Kisara...
Arm...
Spoken...
The more I...
Ew!
That part.
That sucks.
You never know.
So basic...
Are you...
Mm-hmm. Oh. Just great. Cheers!
Cheers! What? Nice try, you two.
Never.
Wait.
I couldn't catch it.
Oh no. This is just like...
I'm alone.
What can I do to get her to snap out of it?
Alvin?
Shion, you're not alone. You've got all of us. There's also this, so please, we'll fight this together.
You dummy! That's not what I was upset about. How many times do I need to tell you not to blindly— That said, it does make me— Even if your bouquet is just a weapon named after—
I'm just glad I could help.
You never cease to amaze me, Alphen.
Feeling better now, Shion?
I'm sorry. I lost my cool like that.
Don't worry. It's not like I have any room for criticism.
Being a grown-up isn't easy, is it? Halim pancakes!
Huh?
Sure is good.
Definitely.
You do me
I didn't. Native or...
Allow my...
Nothing's...
He's always worried.
Yeah.
Let's change... Alphen's away.
Zephyr.
It's all...
No, enough. I do...
Honestly?
What the hell make...
I mean...
Let's refrain.
Not to dull...
Hey, Kisara. What's your secret?
Secret?
Could have had me fooled.
And those poetic
He likes the sound of his own...
Has he? Oh, he didn't... A Lord of Sizzle.
An imposter?
Come to think of
it, wouldn't...
A little... Filled with delight.
That's quite...
This is...
Why?
Might as well...
Indeed.
At least let me... I'll also teach you the most important part.
Oh, this...
Hey, we should make some pancakes right now.
They were drawing Halim's
The recipe...
Great.
Sure.
You're out. You're out too, Kisara.
When what?
Yes.
Wait, what?
You can...
Great.
I can...
Okay.
Hey!
Maybe we'll have some luck finding what we need at the farm. I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
That was quite the little adventure we went on. I wonder what
I can imagine.
There's no question it...
I get that.
Put a pin in.
I can think...
It's a little...
A man can...
Oh.
In your...
You'll need to...
Why do I...
Just a friendly...
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait. Can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Dance in the wind! Air
You picked the wrong
the
fight!
waters of creation!
Megasonic thrust! Try harder!
Stars of light! Rain down and purify all! Into the shadows! Where are you going?
The enemy wields ours too.
We'll soon see about
We've
that!
turned the tables on them.
There are still more left!
Right! No time to hold back!
We can't get out of this!
Here's evil!
This one's all mine!
Tempest Cleanser! Now! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Burn in hell!
Eagle Ray!
Take this!
I'll thank you!
Take this!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Resonate with the
Not a chance!
Everyone, get back! It's too dangerous!
Stalagmite!
Ripping
you apart!
Bloody holiday! You're mine!
Stalagmite!
Burning strike! Dance and
Blew away!
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought
I would imagine.
It's incredible.
Hey,
If they had... Or rather... We haven't seen anyone here except Helgen.
The true citizens of Rena. What a to think of the promise there.
Do you think we could have...
Like all of us.
I think we may have...
You and Al... On the contrary, I should...
Just look in the past 300...
Regarding the past also.
I can understand.
What do you mean?
And that...
Yeah, there must be...
Borrow one...
If it works for...
You know what he's like?
A six-armed giant. Is this the Zoogle from the request?
It's not only alive, but completely uninjured.
We'll just have to see for ourselves.
Out of our way!
Take this!
Healing circle!
I can carve through armor!
This is gonna need all of us together! Freezing storm!
Take this!
Raining
bloody hell!
The dragon monster!
No further!
Holy land! Healing!
Sorry to cover.
Let's show me what my art can do!
Free you of your
Rise and
power.
shine!
Ignite!
Another incantation ruined.
No sword shall break this night!
Blow away!
Take this!
The fluidity of the movement is simply
Armor
incredible.
won't save you! Far enough!
The earth
Blow away!
Where are you going?
The curse has been scoped here!
Wide
It
open!
looks like
It
you got
won't
this one
escape
covered!
me.
Blow away! Raining flash! Blow away! Try harder! No! This was all mine!
Soaring blood!
Ignite!
I'll run you with the stuff! Dance on the wind!
Raining
Take
flash!
this!
Blow away!
Raining Can you all touch my glacial spear? Here's the evil!
On your knees!
Glacial spear! Here's the evil! More for
Spirits within the
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for! Get the...
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Burning!
Hitting pile driver! I can handle it! Armor won't save you!
The waters are deep!
Watch yourself. I sense incredible power.
Big one!
Glacial spear!
On
Here's
your
the evil! Freeze them!
Air pressure!
Spirits within the soul.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Primed and ready!
Raining
Masterful dash!
Wind angel energy! Burning strike!
Eat this!
Dance in the wind!
How about...
Sleep now. I will! More for the sun!
No dawn shall break this night!
Here's a healing art! Smashing it down! Holy land!
Take this!
Freezing storm! A wailing banshee of lightning!
Take this!
Soaring
You're
blood!
mine!
Illuminate the sun! Transform!
Raining
Holy
flash! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here I go!
Can't get out of this!
Drinking ore! Dance in the wind! This one's mine! A whirling circle!
There!
Lunar wind ascendant! First ore!
Rupture!
Incineration wave!
It's weakened!
You're mine! This ends now!
Here's the evil! Freeze Lancer!
Carve through
The
armor!
waters are
Breath
being
of
born
life!
up!
Heal my weary temples!
Amazing! Not long to go now.
We couldn't have done it without you now.
Thanks! Come on! Let's see when you get in there and finish this fight!
Stay away from my friend!
Don't mind if I do! Purge the lemonade! Offstage waterfall! Freeze Lancer!
Burn in hell!
Blow flight! They're not playing around! Right, watch out!
No rest for the wicked.
I owe you one!
Raging corruption!
Front! Try harder! Now! Here I come!
Freezing storm! Ice tornado! Raging glacial spear! Here's the evil! Waters of
Heal my
Freeze
weary
Lancer!
companion!
No
Dance in
further!
mortal droplet! This one's mine!
Blow away!
Sealed! Far enough! This one's mine!
No dawn shall break this!
Illuminate the sun! Blah, blah, blah! That's it!
Might be black and
Holy
blue!
land! One more time!
Armor won't save you!
Annihilation!
Execution!
Hold on to your arms! Here I come!
Air pressure!
Confiscated! The waters have created blood! You get the gist! Tidal wave!
The flame inside me yearns to be left
Now!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Well, we beat it in the end.
Let us harvest what we can use and take it with us.
Built for the sake of it and then cast aside. How sad.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being...
E aí, Wesley, beleza, mano?
Ironic?
The Renans have committed now.
Which must mean...
Now, without it...
Laws and...
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said...
Realizei. Esse jogo tem uma pegada de Final Fantasy.
RPG, né, mano? Ele começou... Ele é lá dos anos 90, mano. Esse jogo é antigão. 95, 96, o primeiro. Ele é bem nessa pegada, né? Porque... Se você for ver... Até pelo nome, fantasia final, né? Isso aqui fala Tale. Tales é conto, né? Então tem Tale of Abyss, Tale of Innocence, tem vários, né? É o conto da inocência, o conto... No caso desse é o conto de Arya, né? Então tem... É uma franquia bem antiga também, né? Tem uma pegada, às vezes, parecida, temática. Só que esse aqui é... Ele dá uma misturada, porque começa uma coisa bem medieval, sabe? De reinos e escala pra uma coisa já espacial. É meio doidão, assim.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
É muito bom a jogabilidade dele, viu?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Burn! I can shatter any steel!
Lightning orb! Photon, illuminate.
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
So even a magic is at its limit.
Not feeling so great. Okay.
Here I go. Feel, you're mine. Get on in there with the others. By the...
Victory is within reach.
Keep calm and do them down.
Press this further, little one.
I'm going to need to use all
As impressive as always.
Here I hoped all was complete.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Can you take it? Take this!
You are in
Eagle Ray! Burning Flux! Blow away! Soaring Block!
bring you down. Bring
Let
them
it
down.
dry.
Handle this.
Burning Flux! Blow away!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
The flame reinforced.
Bathed in blood.
Burning
Blow away! No further!
Dance to the wind.
Piston!
Air frozen. Where are you going? Avoiding trouble.
Penumbra!
Winds of heaven. Burst forth.
Burn in hell!
By the power of flame.
Bathed in blood.
Magic
Bloody
Air drop. I never miss.
Blow away! I'm ready!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin.
It's
The
time to
waters
end
of
this
fate.
battle!
I'm right beside you. You have such an incredible technique.
A jogabilidade é boa e bem frenética.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Here beyond the darkest skies. I'm
Blow away! Ignite!
Power of flame. Finish without
Execution!
Sleep
Blow
now.
away! Burning Splash!
Burning strike. Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena?
É a melhor coisa, assim. Os gráficos tão bonitos também, a história é legalzinha. Tem só algumas ressalvas que eu vou falar lá só no final, mas de modo geral eu gostei.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
You're mine! I'll take the yours to be let free.
Away with you, lightning! Healing
I don't know what.
Victory is within reach.
Perhaps now isn't and we can do this.
I really don't.
Press it further, little one.
Vacuum blade!
A whirling circle.
Take this!
Winds of heaven. Vertic force.
From your side!
One more time. Each dirt. Air pressure. The waters of
Blow away!
Your arts are really incredible.
It's thanks to you I can use them.
Well, I promise I'll always be here.
Your astral arts are truly incredible. Every little bit helps, right? Indeed it does. I'll keep pushing to be better as well. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
This will be a delicious piece of cake! Where are you going?
Come one, come all!
No further!
The freezing storm!
Captivity!
Your reflexes will not serve you well, too.
Blow away!
Raise of steel! Pierce
Can you
evil!
take it?
Freeze
Does it hurt? Eat them!
Elusive what?
A whirling struggle!
Strike!
Winds of heaven!
Take this! Trim up!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Not a chance!
Prepare to be sealed, O freezer.
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
Shine! Radiant
Light!
Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
Chain between heaven and earth! Need to pull myself together!
No
A wailing
escape!
banshee of lightning! Seriously! More for the stop!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Eu vou tentar ir logo direto pro final, porque eu acho que tem muita coisa ainda. Senão a gente não acaba nunca. Eu vou ignorar tudo isso aqui porque eu pego depois num save, porque eu fiz 3 saves, depois eu pego. Eu volto aqui em off, né, e pego tudo que tem pra pegar. Eu vou logo me focar logo em acabar a história aqui logo. Até porque eu pretendo platinar o jogo em off, então eu faço isso, repito isso aqui depois em off aqui. Vou até ignorar esses bichos tudo.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw on the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrek 35 about it sometime.
In a bind? No escape!
The waters of the
It can hide itself? Amazing!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
You're mine! In a bind?
Illuminate the sphere! Here! Holy land! A chain between heaven and earth!
Save you!
Holy energy of lightning!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! Great. I'll leave it to you!
Will this help?
Blew away!
Rotating cloud!
A chain between heaven and earth!
I'm grateful. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cycla!
Great! No choice. You're mine!
Hear me! Flame of fury! What? Tempest world!
Ruin! Penumbra! Soaring blast!
Glacial spear! Here's evil! Freeze blaster!
Come one, come all!
Glacial spear! Here's missile!
Now you see what I can do!
Take it!
Freeze blaster! A chain between heaven and earth!
No
A
further!
wailing Dancy of lightning! This one's mine!
On
This
your
is it!
Take it!
Magic Kazam!
Burn!
Do it! Tidal wave!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Looks like some solid equipment. Go no further!
My turn! Time to cross blade!
Forward up! Divine Blade! A world of struggle! Searing flame! Winds of heaven!
I'm not done!
Graviton field!
Blow away! Try harder! Not a
Feel
chance!
no fall!
Hold nothing back!
Water!
Take this!
Hear my form! Outstanding form!
I'm not down on the ground! Win! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacial
You're mine!
Here's the evil!
You!
I'll stop his charge! Thanks, Kisara!
No further!
Illuminate the night! Come forth, holy land!
Burn!
Annihilate!
Down on the ground!
The power of flame!
Raining blast!
Blind you with a
Blow
shot!
away!
Divine
Raining blast!
Explosion!
Blow
I
away!
never miss!
Try harder! Not
I'm ready! Go down, lightning
Here I
to
come!
death! Glacial field. Illuminate the dark. Magic and shine. Radiant light. Force of regeneration. Regenerate. Shattering.
Is that a
Now.
healing art?
It is.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. Onward and upward. It is. Line of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Let's dispose of the trash.
What in the world? Don't worry. I'm all right. I'm still standing. Take this! I fought a beast hunting, anyone?
Blow away!
Resonate with the aura! Stalagmite!
Not today!
On your knees! Now you see what I can do!
Annihilation!
I'm not
Reload!
Here I come!
Breaking you apart!
Radiant Mega Ray! By the power of Tyrion! Finish without a struggle! There you go! Don't let up! Explosion!
Benediction light.
Thanks! Far beyond the target sky!
Megasonic thrust! You're mine!
Down on the ground! Now or never!
This one's mine! Shooting star!
Blow away!
Radiant
Try harder!
Here!
Down on the ground!
Shattering pick you up!
Eating this!
Here!
This
No
one's all
further!
mine!
Let's get you up!
Eat this!
Lunar blast! Back into the fray! Hard
Blow away!
Magic is in!
Radiant
Fury
drive!
blaster!
I can carve through armor!
Denied! Air thrust! Here's a healing struggle! First aid!
Okay, here I go!
Does it hurt? For the power of wind!
Wind!
Without a trace!
Lunar Rondo!
Elusive deity!
Eagle Ray! Rising Sun! Fluid!
Burning strike!
Wind!
Here's a healing arc! The water's
I'm ready! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Anything in armor is all mine! No further!
Try harder!
Oh, by the power of water! Rain down the power of fire! Careful! He has some kind of camouflage!
Eat this!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Rain blast!
Drinking orb!
Now you see what I
mind you do!
Down on the ground!
Ready?
Sonic Spear!
Here I come!
Tornado Drive!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Annihilation! This one's mine!
You're mine!
Here, let me help you!
You're mine!
Okay, here I go!
Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil! Freeze Blade!
No escape!
I'll use the wall! Light the orb!
Down on the ground! I'll face you!
A whirling what did I do?
It's on! Take this! Ignite!
Sorry to trouble.
Anything in armor can't get out of it! Raining slash! Try harder! Now! You're mine!
Heal my weary companion!
Raining!
What would I do without you? Burning strike! Hydration orb!
I need something.
You need to be healed.
How the mighty have fallen.
These enemies aren't to me.
No complaints here!
Dirt! Do it, Shield! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
What do you think this place was for?
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
The waters of Sigam!
You're mine!
This one's all mine!
Take this! Easter!
Rending you apart! Radiant Pierce! Raging
Blow away!
Banana Spear! Pierce Evil!
Take this!
Its head is the weak point? We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Blow away! I'll smash you! Crush!
Back into the fray!
Penumbra!
By the power of
Wild
fire! Hydration orb! Annihilation! Holy glimmer! Oh, violent
It's on!
Card!
No further!
Lightning! Downfall! Thunder field!
Wind!
Raging cascade!
Water
Hear
going
my
loud!
call! To what now? Astral energy!
Say no more!
Take this! I'm not done!
Raging cascade!
Take
Lunar
this!
corruption! Let the marksman handle this! Dance in the wind!
Raining
Air
fire!
thrust!
Flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
Finish without a trace!
Air pressure!
Awaken and
Lunar Rondo!
Rain down in pure form! Radiant flood! Back into the forest!
Are being interrupted.
Raging cascade!
Blow away!
They're not playing around!
Benediction light.
Where are you going? I own you. Learn it more!
Now you see what I can do!
Cyclone! Not on my watch! Here!
Lunar Rondo!
Archaic waterfall! Into the free
Try
blast!
harder!
Arch requires
Now!
complete focus.
On your knees! Not today!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts.
Lunar Rondo!
Flame of fury! Raging
Spirit
cascade!
in the
Here's
soil!
evil!
Awaken and wreak
Free
havoc!
blaster! Oh, sparkling stars of
Masterful
light!
dash!
Rain down and pure
Okay, here I go! Lunar Rondo! Take this!
by the power of flame!
I'll blind you with this stuff!
This one is almost in the bag!
Not done yet! Just falling back!
Then it's time for you to do what you do best!
Lunar Rondo! Onyx Spear!
More of that
Take
burn!
this!
Strike! Illuminate
Take
the dark!
this!
Magic is there!
You picked the wrong fight!
Amazing.
I think I'm coming down with something grave.
A chronic inability to read the runes?
A malady your arts cannot fix.
Dance, immortal droplet! Sleep now. Here goes! This one's mine!
Ready and raring!
Mind if I do?
Watch yourself. I sense incredible power.
Finish without a trace! Firmament render!
Wind! Penumbra! Rotating pile driver!
Burning
Eagle ray!
the waters that create far enough! Dance, immortal droplet!
In a bind!
Glacial spear! Wind astral energy!
Catapult!
Free blaster!
I'm nearly done for.
That is whirl
Soil. Awaken and wreak havoc!
Thunder fusion!
Anything in armor is all mine! Regeneration!
Regenerate!
Through armor! No!
Is that a healing? It is.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohulum's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say. So, looks like the Helganquil have...
The creatures we've been encountering...
Do you think they were
Indeed. However, based on...
You mean...
we're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room is flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation.
I guess this... This is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Renan now sits above us. I pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
Heal my weary companion.
In here!
Our arts are being interrupted.
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
Exploiting the enemy's weakness.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Prepare to be sealed. You can't get out of this.
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop. Be careful not to overdo it.
One soul. I'll do better.
Demon blast! Burn! Armor won't save you! Ready to strike! On your prepare. Take this!
Blah, 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 that air kills! Don't mind if I do.
Leave the target to me!
Annihilation! Burning strike!
Blew away!
Freeze blazer!
Ready blast! No door to break this! I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Didn't even break a sweat. What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
So here's a...
Don't.
Yeah, but...
I said...
I can understand.
Oh.
We've managed...
Such as?
The great...
Not only...
It may be so thank.
The Hell Gang?
The ceiling?
What good is... And beside...
Oh, come on!
The sands of...
Yeah, well...
You will.
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
Coming through.
This one's mine. Surrender.
Elusive deity.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Anything in armor is all mine. I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Move away.
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sigam, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
More Sukos?
Keep calm and take them down. We'll soon see about that.
Not a chance.
In a bind?
Spread! Confiscated!
Take this!
Lightning conversion! Thunder blade! Not reinforcements? Magic is there! Holy
Deity! Burn in hell!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Everlasting duck!
A wailing genji fire! A whirling struggle!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
In an instant! Impact block!
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
I'll be saving this one!
Megasonic block!
I'm expert!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alphen. Very bad.
I don't feel so good.
We did it! More?
Laser spear. Here's evil. Cyclone.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! More?
Let me show you what my art. This one's mine. Wind astral energy.
Heal.
Heaven, flame of fury.
Burning blast!
Strike now.
Blow away!
Everlasting jump.
Negative gate! You're mine! You apart! Here!
Where are you going?
Megasonic block! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
The
More?
water's magic is there.
In the soil.
Awaken and reach will be let free! No further!
Precision, precision, time. All a perfect 10.
That's it? Nothing else to add?
You take meticulous care of your firearms.
Shine! Radiant light!
Will this help?
Here! I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done! Healing so mind if I do! Not so smug now!
I can't imagine what we'd do without you, Renwell.
Who, me? That's a little much, don't you think?
I'm serious. You're a lifesaver.
I never miss!
Resonate with the Great! Next! I'm not done! Awaken and reach!
A chain between the heaven and earth!
I'll smash you!
A wailing fancy of lightning!
Prepare to be seen!
A blazing storm!
It's over!
A whirling tornado!
I'm ready!
Lock! Demons descend!
Flashing bang!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah. It's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants. How it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted. Like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although, admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all 6. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, the only...
If Rena...
It's like...
Rena's...
Whereas
As for...
Dichotomy...
Those who know, I imagine.
Everything...
With your flames and my technique?
We're stronger together than we are apart. Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander. But I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
Way.
Here I come! I'll smash you! Take it! The flame inside me! Now! Take it!
Nothing gets by me! A wailing Let the marksman handle this!
No dawn shall break the
This one's mine!
I'll grind you into dust!
Water, hear my call! Air thrust! Illuminate the tunnel!
You'll find no mercy!
By the power of flame! Chain between heaven and earth!
You're mine!
A wailing beauty of lightning!
You're mine!
Lunar corruption!
Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic fission! Resonate with the earth! Here I come! This one's all soil! Awaken and anything in armor is all mine! Easter!
I'll heal you all!
Masterful! Blow away! No further!
What would I do without you? By the power of water! Now see what I can do! Spirits within the soil! Freezing storm! Let's get you all tucked away!
Blow away!
Tornado!
Rain flood! Blow away!
Gemini Aqua! Raging Sand! By the power of flame! You get the gist! Not in your dreams! The enemy is going all out!
I'm not done!
A freezing storm! Primed and ready! Razor Storm! Where are you going? Puddle!
Not today!
Lunar corruption! By the power of water!
Blow away!
Wind of heaven! Burning!
Elusive deity! Armor won't save us! Now we're not...
Dance in the wind!
No further!
Air thrust!
Time to let it rip! Blow away! Coming through!
Pull myself together!
Ah! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Far beyond the darkest
Blow
sky!
away!
I call upon
Iron
thee!
Cleaver! I'm ready! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done! Out of ammo!
You're mine!
Nothing gets
by me! Down on the ground! You're mine!
Glacial spear! Pierce eyes of heaven!
Blow away! Black and blade!
Fierce! More for the stockpile!
You're finished!
Blazing cascade! Finish!
Blow
power!
away! It's on!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Heal!
Explosion! Tidal wave!
You're mine! You picked the wrong fight!
Now it's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Get lost!
Stay calm.
I never miss!
harder! My turn! Try harder! My turn! Can't get out of this! Take it! Raining flash! Blow away! Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
Lunar correction!
Here I come! Spirit within the soil! Shine! Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Okay, blind you with a stop! Take it! Eagle ray! Flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Raining you! Raining flash! Does it hurt? Take this! Dance on the wind! Ignite! Raining flash! Blow away! Tornado raining flash! Blow away!
Don't mind if I do. It's time to finish this!
Easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop. Consuming wildfire! There!
Catapult! Take this! Blow away!
Precision time.
I don't feel like my usual. That's it? Nothing else to add?
You take meticulous care of your firearms.
I never will! Far enough!
Take this! Blow away!
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
Eat this! Look right here! You're mine! Pierce!
Do it!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work.
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's great spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own emanating from them.
If it's that insignificant, is there that much point getting rid of it?
Let's see what you've got. Take it! Don't get carried away! Armor won't save you!
Dance immortal! Fire complete focus!
I'm not aim for the weak spot! Spear! Soaring blast! Raining blast! Down on the ground!
Dance immortal droplet!
You're mine! Crescent flash! Iron Cleaver!
Easily
It's looking good!
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
There you go! Don't let up! You get the gist.
Try harder! My turn! Down on the ground! In a bind? Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Not today! Okay, here I go. Negative gate!
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better. Rending you apart! Bloody
That'll bring you down.
Steel force! Not on my watch! Spread! Far enough! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Go relentless in the wind! Air thrust!
Soaring blast! Pierce! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Damn it! I can carve through armor! Now!
bit off more than I could chew.
Heart is being interrupted. Breath of life. Heal my weary companion. Blow away. Cure. Rain flash. Blow away. No further.
Annihilation. Raging cascade. Sleep now. I'll heal you all. Saving this one. The water from the
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Blow away. Ready to go. You get the gift.
Far enough.
Air.
Eagle ray.
Freezing storm.
Down on the ground.
Here goes. Tornado. Celestial.
Where are you going? Awakening me. Burn in hell.
Got it. Mega
Kisara, Commander of Heaven. Phoenix Cyclone.
Such unadulterated fury.
The waters of creation.
Try harder. My turn. Here I come.
This world had its dreams. Here.
Rain splash. It's over. Iron Cleaver.
I'm out of ammo.
You're mine. Can't get out of this. I'm not this.
I'm all stopped up. Lightning of raging cascade.
Forgive me. Can't move.
Don't leave me. A wailing banshee of light.
My pride went down.
Shine. Radiant light. Full of regeneration. Regenerate. I owe you one. Take to the fray.
Annihilation. I never miss. I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this. Deus Roar. Photon Blast. Dance in the wind.
My armor won't save you. Can you take it? All mine.
The waters of creation.
Breath of life. Heal my weary companion. Burn.
In here.
Sure.
Let's get you
Blow away.
Reload.
Now.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Elfin.
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you.
Raining flash. Blow away. Raining with the earth.
Stalagmite. Pierce evil. Illuminate the dark. Hang forth. Little quiver. Holy construct up.
Point fire.
Downfall. A wailing banshee of corruption. Divide by the power of
Blow
love.
away. No further.
In here. Mega round. Astral energy.
Say no more.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. A dead end, huh?
Why don't we just use this?
Wait!
Jeez! Don't scare me like that! What, is there something wrong with it?
No, it's not that. It's just... this is it. Whatever it is, we're about to find out.
It's the moment of truth. There's no turning back now till we've won. Either we get through this, or we vanish along with the rest of the world as we know it. Is everyone ready?
We've come this far. I'm not about to turn tail now. I say we knock this thing out and head back home.
It's time to relegate the past to where it belongs. It's been a long journey getting here, but it ends now.
No. This isn't the end. Once we've overthrown the old order, there's still the task of creating a new world.
A world without divisions, where no one cares whether you're Danon or Renan, or if you have magic or not. You're right. We have to win this.
Let's get going then. After all, our future awaits.
Our future. One free of tyranny and exploitation. For the freedom to live with those we hold dear. And for a new era. Let's go! Are we on that giant flower?
We're finally here then.
But then, where is the core of the Great Spirit? Or the Renaissance, for that matter?
According to Hevrek 35, this should be where we find the core.
Rinwell, do you sense anything?
This is definitely where the energy of the Great Spirit is strongest, but what's giving off the most energy is the flower we're standing on.
That said, we're not gonna be able to destroy something this huge. You want me to hit it and see what happens?
Hey, look!
Renaissance!
Is that like Dana's astral energy? But why?
What?
Stay sharp! Something's coming!
Spirit's core? And in order to fight us, it's taken on this form?
My thoughts. I feel them whirling inside me. They're getting restless. I'm certain of it. This is the source of my thorns, and of my visions. This is the darkness that will consume all existence.
Do now? The Renaissance is inside that thing. And I don't think we'll win this fight without it.
We have to get it back. We will find a way somehow.
Agreed. And now that it has a physical form, cutting through it's what we'll do.
Great Spirit, I understand you want to live. You've made that very clear. However, if you're planning on destroying everything, then first, you'll have to get through us. Everyone, let's go!
We're not energy for you to consume, and we're not puppets for you to control!
Only humankind has a right to determine their own future. We will never let something like you take that away from us.
I'm sorry, but we won't let you take any more away from us. We'll do whatever it takes to stop you.
I fight to quell the sounds of anguish from our world, that it may be filled with joy and peace once again.
Give it back. Give it all back. Give us back our world and give me back my own life.
Once and for all, we're going to end centuries of terror and death. Right here, right now. Ready to begin!
That'll bring you down.
Take this!
Get on in there with captivity.
Try harder! Now!
In a bind?
You picked the wrong fight!
Lunar corruption!
Weekend hard!
Gemini aqua!
Blew away! Ready to rock!
Reload!
Blew away! To march on!
By the power of Mega Ray!
Armor won't save you!
Annihilation! By the power of darkness! The enemy is going all out!
No escape!
Let me free you of your power. Dispel! Grant me the strength to march on! Lionheart!
Power flame! Finish with lightning again!
Grant me the strength to march on!
Try harder! My turn!
Lionheart!
In an instant! Impact Claw! Here I come!
I'll be your deck, Doreen.
Then tonight's meal is on you.
Keep going.
Stay calm. I shall provide
Leave the
assistance.
enemy's arms to me!
What in the world is this milking place here?
Confiscate!
Grant me the strength to march on. Leave the chargers to me.
Raining Flash!
Lightning
Blow
orb!
away! Eat this!
Light astral purge malevolence! Freeze blaster! Magic advance! Freeze blaster!
In a bind?
You get the gist.
This isn't looking good. Try harder!
Air thrust!
Now!
Arts require complete focus.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Mega ray! Fire's attack! Fire's attack! Poison display! Finish with sharp hit!
I can carve through march on.
Here, let me help! Fire's poison display!
Blew away!
Thank you!
Raining
Ice
Flash!
tornado! Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
Blow the flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
Thank you! Radiant spear! Here, let me help! Here's a healing arc! Sharp
I owe you one.
Ruin.
I never miss!
Thanks!
Lightning! Shiny super! You're really strong, Alvin!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around. As impressive as always.
Here I hope I was improving.
No, I mean you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
See what I can do.
The waters of creation.
Captivity. I can't get out of this.
The flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Raining Flash! Not today!
Elusive ease.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade.
Here's a healing arc. Darkest skies.
Such unadulterated fury.
The waters of creation. Magic advance! In here! Freeze blaster!
Pieces!
Here's a healing arc!
Not now, not ever!
One more time! I never miss! Here's a healing arc! First aid here!
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do both.
Far beyond forgetting away!
In a bind?
Mega ray!
Blew away! Raining Flash! Blew away! Raining Flash!
Sleepy eyes!
all that, it's still standing. Just how strong is this thing?
It doesn't matter. We just have to keep kicking its ass until it bites the dust.
Conserving its energy for an escape.
That bastard took off with the Renaissance!
We can't stand here and wait for it to come back. We'll have to follow it through there.
You're right. I don't like it, but we've got no choice.
Yeah. No matter what, we can't let it get away.
All right. Let's go.
I'm surprised we can stand here at all. What in the hell is this place?
Beats me. I've never seen anything like it. More importantly, where's the Great Spirit?
Look! Over there!
What in the world? It's changing shape?
Oh, this is bad. It looks like it's regaining all of its energy. It's going to grow even bigger than before!
Damn it! Come on, we've got to find a way to...
Watch out! Something's heading our way!
Guess they're here to try to stop us. There's so many of them.
That means we've got it running scared. Let's take these out and keep moving!
Get out of our way already!
I didn't expect such base tactics from a supreme being.
You can't assume we're fighting something that thinks like a human!
Whatever it is, it's wasting time that we don't have!
Yeah, not only that, but that thing is getting bigger by the minute!
It's starting to slow down the more it grows. We should be able to catch up soon enough.
We just need to hold on. Stay strong, everyone, and stand your ground!
This one's mine! Permanent trencher! Radiant!
Harder! This should do it!
Reload! I'm out of magic for the fray!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Grant me the strength to march on!
Lion
Grant me the strength to march on! Lion
Rising Falcon!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
First aid! Lion
Soda! Rising! Ready! Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
Grant me the strength to march on!
Luna Rondo!
Lion
Ice tornado! Here's a healing art! Think again!
No further!
Here's a healing art!
Not today!
First aid!
I owe you one!
Annihilation! Searing flame! It's in the sky, it's mine!
Through armor!
Deny! Here I go!
Raining!
Here's a healing art!
Blew away!
First aid! Lunar corruption!
Raining!
Raging, I never miss! Celestial Ladder! Here's a healing art!
Blew away! Not today!
Raging Cyclone!
Raining Flash! Blew away!
In a bind?
I'm out of it, Watson!
Raining Stuff!
Annihilation!
I could do without this pain!
Raging! Finish without a trace!
Raining! Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
Ready and raring!
First aid!
Armor won't save
Allow me
you!
to help you.
Raging! Searing flame! Celestial Ladder! Here's a healing art! Ranger! Deny! Back in Terror Wall! Gemini
Blew away!
Everlasting fist!
The tempest engulfs you! Megatiston!
Down on the ground!
Burn!
Demon Lash!
Oh,
Blew
violent
away!
burning wind!
Raining Flash!
Everlasting fire! Negative
Rain!
The water of
Another incantation.
Try harder! Now!
It's healed!
I never miss!
Being interrupted.
Oh, sparkling stars of light!
No
Rain
further!
down and purify all!
It's go
Rain
time!
purify
I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Here, let me help. Change between heaven and earth.
Catapult!
Do it!
Rain blast!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Brace yourselves! We're going to crash!
We caught up to it!
Hold on. Why did it stop absorbing the energy from Dana?
Like it or not, it lacks the means to do so whilst fighting us. We've become the bigger threat and forced its hand.
All right then. Let's get to work so we can take back the Renaissance.
This ends right here, right now! And this time, we really mean it!
We've all come so far. We faced so much. We can't get through this. Together!
Naturally, we are all leaving this fight alive.
Hell, I'm just getting warmed up. You ain't seen nothing yet.
The Great Spirit's getting desperate. So stay on your toes, everyone.
Down on the ground!
Benediction.
Its power's overwhelming.
Then let's whittle down that thing's power. Go!
Right. Let's start with the arts.
Let's do this, Law!
Leave it to me!
Everyone, I'm counting on you.
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Freeze Lancer!
No further!
Tidal Wave! Purge magic is action! Freeze
Lancer!
Lancer! You and me! From here on out! We did it!
Yeah! I owe you one.
I never miss!
Armor won't save it!
Amazing! All that astral energy!
I don't like the look of this.
We have to stop it! And fast! Raining slash!
I owe you.
Blow away!
Burning
Raining slash!
Denied! Go, Halim!
No more dithering!
Our future begins here!
Always impressive.
I guess that makes two of us then.
Now all that's left is the middle!
Let's do it!
Far enough!
Grant me the strength to march on! I owe you one! Lionheart! Raining slash! Blow away! Grant me the strength to march on! All mine! Ignite! Lionheart! Raining slash! Grant me the strength to march on! Now it's my turn! Anything in armor is all mine! Not now, not ever! You're mine! Now!
Annihilation!
Blow away! Blow escape! Raining
Blade
slash!
spear! If it's in the sky,
Blow
it's
away!
mine! Who wants to die next?
You!
I owe you. Let me help.
Blow away! Grant me the strength to march on! Blow away! Lionheart!
Nothing gets by me!
Try harder!
Everyone okay?
Still alive somehow, if that's what you mean.
Here, let me heal you.
Blow away! Raining slash!
Who wants to die
Blow
next?
away! Raining slash!
Red, Barbie,
Blow away! We did it! You're mine! Shield!
This is it.
This ends now!
Alphen!
both fine. We're going to start the ceremony now, before it can recover. Xion.
Yeah.
Returned, just as I told you I would.
Hurry! The Great Spirit is reviving itself!
Absorbing the Great Spirit!
Apologies. I can't suppress it for very long.
Hand it over right now. Use this to defeat the Great Spirit. Which is precisely why I'm here. Stand aside and watch. So then you know how to destroy the Great Spirit. Just as well as you and your sorry lot. The Great Spirit that tried to control me will be annihilated. I won't let you do that! Yet do it I shall. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. You bastard! I shall fulfill my duty as a ruler. With this power, I'll bury that woman and the Great Spirit. Then this charade will finally end. Save everyone. And Xion! Silence. I'll tear you apart, slay the girl and the Great Spirit, and erect a fortress of death over both worlds.
What do you get from all this? When you have all that power, what will you do?
My dominion shall reign over all existence. Nothing else matters.
That's it? This is so you can rule over all existence just because?
Despicable as they were, even the other lords, even the Great Spirit had a future in mind. But you have nothing. Only death. So what? It matters little to me. You are pathetic. Truly pathetic. And you're not. You are. Failure. Empty. A sovereign who couldn't even die in his own time as he was meant to. You're right. I used to wonder why I was still alive after so long. There are things in this world, in the here and now, that are worth protecting. That's why I'm still here.
And I won't let you take them away! Here I come! You will suffer at my hand! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Try harder! Try harder!
Foolish.
My turn! Ignite! I gotta erase every... You control others to keep from being controlled, but that's a path of never-ending hatred. Don't you understand? It can only end in destruction. The only way to avoid it is with forgiveness! The words of a coward. Your weakness disgusts me. You're wrong. It takes true power to forgive! I have no use for forgiveness. The strong shall always triumph here.
You say that because you've been alone so long. If you had someone, anyone to turn to, a single friend, someone to love, people who would support and guide you, you can't have been alone your whole life. All I remember is the lashes of whips, each strike spreading a skein of fire across my back. The masters who killed slaves for sport, and the slaves who sacrificed their compatriots that they might live. There is no love, no friendship, not there or anywhere else. Is there no way for you to see this differently? Enough! You gamble the fate of this world to save a single life, and yet I am the evil one? How utterly ridiculous. It's true. Maybe it is selfish of me to want to save her, but I swore that I would let no one else be sacrificed in this battle. I can't bear to see her die. You and I are so much more alike than I had ever imagined. No, we're not. I want a world built on kindness, on giving, on warmth. You take and destroy. I'm nothing like you.
Blending flash! Explosive ring! Power is on! Try this! Blending flash! Try this! Explosive ring! I am gruesome! All others shall be banished! Blending flash! Try harder! Not again! My turn! Try harder! Not again!
The blazing sword.
The power Xion has bestowed upon me. I'll take you down! I'm not done! Try this! Blending flash! Try this! Blending flash! Out of try this! Burn! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Explosive ring! Try this! You will beg me for mercy! It's over! You are the last obstacle impeding my progress! Die! That's my line! I'll show you the limits of your solitude! What you've done is evil. There's no denying that. I know you didn't walk your path out of weakness, but merely from misguided strength. Misguided because you were alone. Because you had no friends to keep you on the straight and narrow. No one to use all that strength for, other than yourself. That loneliness could make a monster out of anyone. Out of me. I understand. And I forgive you, Volrun. I don't need your victor's pity. And you can choke on your vain forgiveness. Don't! You wish to save this world? To make your selfish dreams into reality? If you choose to walk that path,
choose a path of betrayal, despair, and corruption. And in the darkness at the end, I'll be waiting for you! Full run! I'm sorry. The Rena's Alma is...
Yes. But you still possess the blazing sword. It may not be quite as strong as the Rena's Alma, but nonetheless...
I can't! I would never! It would kill you!
My thorns, they're... Soon the great astral spirit will break free. And when that happens, no one will be spared. But there's still time. You can still destroy the thorns. And me with them.
That's exactly what we've been fighting to prevent. I promised I would find a way to save you.
You did. I know. But I don't want you to die either. So please, don't let me be the end of the world.
That's it. Look! The path Dana's energy flowed through is still open. We can use it to call out to Dana's will!
Alphen, what are you saying?
Don't you remember? Rinwell said there was a little bit of Dana's will inside all of us. If there is a way everyone can come together to form Dana's will, then maybe we can ask for it to help us, to find us a way out of this.
Are you really saying that if all of Dana thinks of saving us, it will become the will of the planet itself? That's madness.
Maybe so, but it's the only way we can save you. And the only way to save Rena, too.
To save Rena?
That's right. Rena's will never had evil intent. If we're saving everyone, that includes them. I don't want to live in a world without you, Xion. And I'm tired of living a life built on death.
Alphen, I'm with you.
Collective will of Dana, hear my plea! I want to save Xion! And I want to save Rena too! I want to end this cycle of one joy, constantly being sacrificed for another's pain! So please, grant us your strength!
つかまったここでその時は笑顔でいたい何億と月日が流れてもあなたとならば人はそれぞれ背負うものが剥がれこの星に生まれた意味を知る強く生きるため弱さを隠して恐れずに痛みから始まる続いてく物語に私はいるのかね届かないこの願いに少しだけでいいから聞こえてよ触れたいよ信じるよ記憶をめくってあの時は向き合えなかったね未来を信じてコンパスを握りしめたね人はそれぞれ背負うものが剥がれこの星に生まれた意味を知る
E aí, acabou. Eu acho que na verdade tem alguma cena pós-crédito que eu já vi que eles se casam no final, alguma coisa assim, eu já vi uma arte. Então acho que tem cena pós-crédito, mas eu já falo aqui minhas considerações do jogo. Mano, o jogo é muito bom, de uma maneira geral. Eu acho um dos meus Tales favoritos já, em questão de jogabilidade, né, cara? É bem moderno, bem dinâmico. Isso ele acertou bastante, é muito bonito. Eles investiram muito na parte comercial, tem muito anime, né? Parte animada e tudo. Gostei bastante nesse sentido. Só que, dito isso, o jogo ele ganha uma barriga grande, viu, mano? Assim, no final. Me lembrou até Final Fantasy XV, mano. O jogo é bom, aí quando chega ali na reta final, né, que tem um plot twist da história, de quem é o vilão e tudo, mano, fica muito desinteressante. Eu dei uma brochada nesse final, vocês viram que eu fui pulando porque um ritmo muito sério, mano. No final agora. É um problema não só desse jogo, mas de muitos jogos japoneses, é que eles ficam remoendo a história em diálogos. Acabou de acontecer um fato, aí eles vão lá, aí tem um diálogo que você tem que parar pra ver, secundário, que é o do R1 aqui, aí eles falando a mesma coisa que eles poderiam ter falado resumido já na cutscene passada. Aí eles ficam mastigando. Ah, mas isso aqui que a gente acabou de ver, mas isso aqui. E cara, vai enchendo o saco. Tem hora que enche o saco você, mano, eu vou pular essa porra, foda-se. Tá bom, mano, eu já entendi, mano. Sabe isso? Eles enchem demais de informação desnecessária, mano. É muito enche linguiça, assim, você pega a motivação da Shion lá no começo, né? E, porra, você fica do lado dela, porra, a menina, né, cresceu sozinha e tudo. Só que tem uma hora, mano, que eles ficam enchendo linguiça no negócio. Eu não sei se eu conto. Eu tô mal. Não é nada não posso contar, não sei o que. Tem uma hora que você fica com raiva dela, mano. Aí, ó, cena pós-crédito. Acabar, eu falo o resto.
Let's go.
I want to feel your hair right now. You want to place my only home. Yeah, just like the flowers in the rainbow.
Eu acho que vai ter mais coisa ainda. Então, como eu tava dizendo, tem hora que você abusa da Sean, porque ela fica direto. Eu não sei se eu conto, ela nunca conta a história por todo, sabe? Sempre é um pedaço dela. Ah, eu quero pegar, juntar todas as esferas lá, matar todos os lords. Aí deixa isso no ar. Aí depois vai. Aos poucos ela acrescenta mais uma coisa, mais uma coisa, mais uma coisa. Sabe? E no final lá, que ela tem aquela noção de que ela quer viver, porque é uma missão suicida dela, né? Que ela só queria morrer, ela não tinha sentido mais na vida, conversa até com a questão da depressão, mas aí quando ela decide viver, porque tá gostando dos amigos, né, acha um motivo pra viver, ela fica dividida e não quer contar isso pros caras, e tipo, a desculpa é muito farrapada de ela não contar, não sei, não quero contar porque não quero. Sabe, você entende a dor dela e tudo, mas tem um momento, cara, que começa, a compreensão vira antipatia. Você já fica, mano, vai tomar no cu. Então foda-se você. Não, tem hora que eu fiquei assim, mano, foda-se, então, porra, caralho. Andou esse percurso todo, mano, tudo, mano, passou por tanta coisa e a pessoa não, sabe? Às vezes você sente que regride a progressão. Às vezes você acha que tá andando para trás, parece que vocês não passaram por nada, assim. Sabe, às vezes eu não sinto que o jogo trabalha bem essa questão da construção do personagem, a progressão do personagem. Parece que do nada volta a estaca zero, sabe? E isso é um sentimento muito ruim, assim, que eu tive no jogo, assim, sobre a trama, às vezes. E esse final, mano, como eu falei, eles bombardeiam de muita coisa, eles tentam deixar uma coisa muito grandiosa, vai pro espaço. O inimigo é uma energia, tipo uma entidade. Aí eu já acho meio covarde, porque era uma coisa interessante que eles estavam abordando duas raças que não se gostam, que tem um preconceito de uma, né? Você dá para fazer vários paralelos aí, e eles no final tomam uma decisão covarde de botar um inimigo, uma entidade que é a grande vilã, que ela está fazendo as raças, usando todo mundo era Deno no final, né? Não existia os renos não existia, a raça suposta dos olhos brilhantes não existia, na verdade eles eram Denos, que eram cobaias de experimentos dessa entidade aí, né? Aí, mano, ficou, sabe, quando tudo é muito, nada é muito, entendeu? Então eles tentaram elevar demais, sabe, o plot, uma coisa espacial, coisa megalomaníaca. Aí eu acho que foi uma escala muito, uma decisão assim muito errada, assim. Acho que eles perderam a mão total. Aí eu comecei a perder o interesse, sabe? Fora isso, aí eles aumentaram a frequência dos diálogos paralelos. Ao invés de deixarem ali, quando acontecem os diálogos à esquerda, fica falando, mas o jogo vai fluindo. Você vai fazendo suas atividades, ali seria ótimo. Agora esse negócio de ficar apertando R1 para ver o que é, aí você para o que está fazendo para ver um acréscimo de uma conversa que já foi resolvida, né? É tipo assim, sei lá, ele fala todo o plot, isso que eu falei para vocês, e aí tem uma conversa paralela, exemplo. Mas e os animaizinhos, eles vão morrer também? Mano, sabe, é uma conversa que não vai levar a lugar nenhum, não vai ter nada, sabe? E tem algumas conversinhas que é com o intuito de fazer graça, alívio cômico. Mas, porra, bota do lado ali, mano. Bota do lado, deixa o jogo mais... O jogo é tão dinâmico Aí nessa parte eles pecaram demais. Aí eles botam muita conversinha paralela. Aí nesse final eles enchem a tela de inimigo, obrigando você a lutar várias lutas, assim, sabe? Você já tá meio que querendo que o jogo acabe já, nesse final. É o mesmo sentimento, eu repito, do Final Fantasy XV, que vira linear pra cacete no final do jogo. Você fica cansado, assim, mano, tá bom, traz logo o boss, eu não aguento mais. Você fica... É o mesmo sentimento que eu tive, né? Esse final, ele dá uma brochadinha, assim. O jogo tava indo, caminhando por uma nota assim, pá. Aí esse final, mano, essa reta final, esse terceiro ato do jogo, sabe, dá um gostinho amargo, sabe? Antes fosse o Voron, sendo que eles trabalham tão mais o Voron, esse final, o vilão final, que agora no final é muito forçado ele aparecer. Depois de tudo, do nada ele aparece para ter uma última luta, sabe? É como se fosse uma terceira via ele. Aí, mano, sabe, se ele tivesse trabalhado ali ainda, não, aí quando no momento que você vencer ele a primeira vez, você esquece dele. Foda-se ele, não sei o que. Aí agora ele volta no final só para tentar dar um drama a mais, sabe? Uma tentativa de criar, por exemplo, uma Ellie versus The Last of Us 2, Ellie versus no final ali a Ellie brigando com a esqueci o nome dela, com a menina lá, né? É a tentativa de criar aquele último obstáculo antes do objetivo final, sabe? Mas não pega você. Você mais uma vez, mano, tá, vai logo, não aguento mais, sabe? Porque ele não criou, eles não conseguiram transformar esse cara realmente em um rival. A tentativa foi essa. Ele era só um lorde. Era só um lorde a mais a ser superado. Só isso. Eu acho que, inclusive nisso, nos lords, eles poderiam ter trabalhado melhor. Os 5 lords. Eu achei bem... Sabe, a menina, a bruxa lá, que ela é até uma boa personagem, ela aparece do nada, cai de paraquedas lá, na cutscene lá. Depois ela se foge lá pro navio, você vai atrás dela, bota uns monstros pra impedir você, né? A menina que gosta de pescar, né? E pronto. Sabe, a trama, mano, ela começa com uma premissa muito boa, que é a questão das raças que você odeia, diferente, tudo. A questão da escravidão, né? Bem interessante, assim, coisa de reinos, né? Aí depois ela se acovarda indo pra uma coisa espacial, botando a culpa na entidade, sabe? Achei... Não trabalha muito bem os vilões, sabe? Poderia ter sido bem melhor trabalhado. E começa muito bem, porque ele trabalha muito bem lá, o pai dele aí, né? Do LoL, o pai do LoL, que é quem resgata a gente e tudo. A morte dele eu até deu uma sentida também. Acho que é a prova de que eles trabalharam bem o personagem, sabe? Mas os 5 lotes foi mal trabalhado. E o final ali foi, como eu falei, esse último final aí é uma brochada grande. Nessa questão do enredo deixou muito a desejar, assim, nesse sentido. Tem uma premissa muito boa. Até a metade do coisa é legal, tirando essas ressalvas dos lotes. E esse final é muito fraco. Agora a gameplay, como eu falei, é muito boa, muito dinâmica. É o melhor Tales em questão de jogabilidade, sem dúvidas. De história eu acho... Eu gosto mais do Berseria, Tale of Berseria. E até do Zestiria, achei a história melhor. O plot twist, né, do Zestiria, do Berseria. O Tale of Berseria, que é o antes desse, né? É bem mais na Velvet, de demônios, né, e tudo. Eu acho bem mais interessante o plot que tem lá, sabe? A lua vermelha lá, acho bem mais interessante do que o plot daqui. O plot daqui eu achei covarde, como eu falei. Mas é um jogo que vale a pena, mano. Muito, muito legal, gostosinho de jogar ele. Pra quem gosta de RPG, então, muito bom. Mas, repito, na trama deixou a desejar. Agora os personagens são bem legais, carismáticos, tem um design legal, né? Assim, nessa parte técnica, assim, pra mim só elogios. Gostei muito, assim. Peguei nenhum bug. O meu tá liso, muito bom, mano. Agora, O que deixa a desejar é na parte do enredo, né? Poderia ser melhor, narrativa. Mas é isso. Então vamos esperar aí o final, que acho que ele... São 3 casais, né? É uma coisa que eu... E aí já é mais minha, né? Uma coisa que eu não tenho mais idade pra isso. Sabe, essas séries de super-herói que tem um triângulo amoroso, sabe? Essas coisas de anime, sabe? De Naruto e sei lá, e Sakura e o Sasuke, sabe? Esse negócio de você vê que os caras se gostam e não, sabe? Eu não tenho mais, eu juro pra vocês, eu não tenho mais paciência pra isso. Não tenho. Minha sanidade não aguenta mais. Assim. Já mando se lascar. Eu não tenho paciência mais pra essas frescuras, assim, sabe? Você vê que os personagens se gostam e fica com vergonhinha. 2 adultos, 2 marmanjos, o cara mais de 300 anos, com vergonha de falar o que ele sente pra pessoa. Pelo amor de Deus, né? Eu não tenho mais paciência não pra isso. Juro pra você. Não tenho. Aí, tipo assim, você espera a coisa toda pra eles terem alguma coisa, os caras vão mostrar por foto no final, por arte. Aí é foda, né, mano? Outra atitude covarde desse jogo. Não trabalham bem relacionamento, sabe? É coisa meio de japonês, mano, que me enche o saco esse negócio de todo relacionamento tem que ter essa infantilidade, mano. Sempre tem que ter essa infantilidade, essa imaturidade dos personagens emocionalmente. Ai, não sei se eu digo. Ai, será que ele gosta de mim? Ai, não sei o que. Ai, fica vermelhinho que toca a mão dele. Ai, sabe? Ah, mano. Não tenho paciência não pra isso. Juro pra você, mano. Juro que a minha paciência é 0 pra essas frescuras, né? Essas imaturidades assim de sentimento assim. Não tenho mais, nem pra anime, nem pra filme, nem pra série, nem pra jogo, pra nada. Ai, eu desabafei agora. Mas é isso. Tá aí. The Alpha Rise, muito bom. De maneira geral, né? Fica aí só os meus porém com enredo, mas. Aí ó, casados. Essa arte eu tinha visto, esse casado. E a mina pegou o buquê. Aí você vê que é 3 casais, né? Teve uma hora que eu achei que o Dolarin ia ser gay, né? Daquele jeito, mas não. As corujas pegaram os caras. Mas é isso. Fim. Valeu todo mundo que acompanhou aí. Até o próximo. Ainda vou ver qual é o joguinho, mas é o menor, né? Porque ainda vem Digimon por aí. Digimon vem próximo mês, final do próximo mês, né? E aí a gente vai trazer pra cá também, tá? Beleza? Valeu, grande abraço. É isso aí. Fui!